Welcome to APDesign Digital Tools. In this movie we're going to talk about stairs. So to begin with, what I'm going to do is, let's just go to the second level. I'm going to put a large kind of gallery stair, entry stair here. And then from the second floor on up, I'm going to create a vertical shaft that I can place some egress stairs. So let's just go to first level. And I'm going to start sketching. So I'm going to go to architecture, stairs. I'm going to do stair by component, and I'm just going to kind of arbitrarily pick a point. You can see that it already knows how many stairs I need to go up to the second floor, so it looks like I need 35 risers. Well, I have to have every 12 feet I'd have to have a break, a landing, so I'm just going to draw this to be somewhat halfway, and then I'm going to draw another one, I think. Okay, I'm going to pull those two apart. So right now it's 14.8. I'm going to pull this up to 19.8 or so. Alright, that's going to give me enough space for a landing. So I'm going to go to landing, and you can see I can pick two runs of stairs. So there's the video. So that makes it pretty easy. Pick that one to that one, and voila, I've got a landing. Now the next thing I need to do is, I don't want a 3 foot, this has got to be a somewhat grand staircase, so maybe I'm going to go 10 feet, and I'll need to select both of them. 10 feet here too, and so now we're kind of in business. It looks like if we look on the second floor, I'm a little bit inboard of where the landing is, so let me just move that out a little bit. I'm just going to grab the corner, move it over, and then I need to move this to the corner of the landing. So there you go. That's the beginning. Now let's create a view so we can kind of look at our stair and document it later. So I'm going to go to View, grab the camera, move at the stair. It's up on the second level. I really want this down below, and I want to see a little bit more what's going on. Okay, so that is at least a reasonable take. You can see that the camera is kind of blocking, it kind of crops out in the background. To fix that, let's see, let's just call this view stair view. And to fix that, we just need to tell it to not have the far clip active. So I'm just going to turn that off so you can see, now we see everything. Okay, so that's a reasonable view of our stair. It looks pretty clunky and dumb. We're going to fix that. Alright, so the next thing we might want to do is, well, let's stick with the what we have in front of us. So while you're modeling, you might want to try to kind of really look at things carefully. So what you want to do is you want to select just that stair, and what you can do down here under these little glasses, temporary hide, isolate. It's wanting me to actually finish the stair, so when we finish that, then I can do this next operation. So I'm going to grab just the stair, I'm going to use that to isolate the element. So now my 3D view only shows me what I kind of wanting to edit here. You can see what happened while I was clicking OK, or closing that stair, is that it created railings for me. So that's pretty cool. It does that all by itself. But you can see we have an issue, and the issue is really about design. And we've got a really generic stair that works functionally, but it's kind of really but ugly. So let's go in and start talking about how to change that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to define how these the runner and the tread and the riser work. So I want you to click on that and then edit type. And we're going to duplicate, you always duplicate your type, and this will be kind of a design tread. You can call it anything you want. And we're going to look at a couple of things. One, we got this kind of bad looking nosing, and we have these really bad stringers, just really clunky. So I'm going to edit. Well, actually, let's take care of the stringer first. So I'm going to look at what maybe a carriage open looks like. So let's just do that and take a look. So what that did was it basically hid the stringer kind of inside, and it actually is now cut. You know, the close actually ran a solid beam, as it were, here. Now it's been cut to around the stairs. So that's what that did. Now that's okay, not great. So let's see about like offsetting it in so it's not so heavy on the outside. So I'm going to tell it to be like 2 feet in on both sides. So now that kind of gets hidden a bit, tucked behind. Now obviously structurally I'm now having to cantilever quite a bit here. So you know, that would be another issue. Perhaps I'd want to change the width of this. Maybe go with a kind of a deeper width overall. Let's apply that. You can see that it got a little bit wider. Maybe I even want to go a little bit deeper here. Alright, that's not really changing anything that I really want. So, okay, let's just apply that for right now. We'll call that good. And let's see what we can do about this tread. So let's look at the run type here. And click on these 3 dots. And tread thickness. So let's imagine this is some kind of heavy steel that's been welded together. So I'm going to call this out as, like, say, a 3/8 inch steel. And I'll do the same with the riser thickness. And supply that. So this automatically starts to get a bit thinner. It's looking a little bit better, like it maybe actually was designed. That nosing's still a problem. I'm going to get rid of the nosing for now. And I'll deal with the nosing, because you know you need that kind of 1 inch beyond the tread, beyond the riser, to make it in code. So I'm still going to have to deal with that. But right now, it's going to get rid of it. So I'll say OK. So already we can see that this thing's getting a little bit better designed as far as the stairs go. Now the railings are a whole different ballgame. But let's stick with this, the treads. So the other thing I might want to do is maybe I want to take out these bottom 2 treads and maybe add a kind of cool base, concrete base. So to do that, what I might want to change is to kind of go up, say, 14 inches, essentially 2 risers. I'm going to offset the base, so this thing is going to go, it's going to kind of just took out those bottom 2 risers and lifted it up, so that's going to be a lot better as soon as I add that landing. So but we're trying to stay with the stairs, so let's do this next. So if I want to add the nosing, I got to get a little bit creative. There's not really a great way to kind of control. You can control the profile of the nosing, but kind of getting anything that looks kind of really architectural and beautiful is really difficult. So I'm going to trick the system by basically adding another stair right on top of this one. Now the problem is that anything that I change globally with this stair suddenly I'm going to have to change with the other one. So it's a bit of a mess, you might say, but it's the way to kind of get to a kind of really fine-tuned design, and I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and Control C this, and then I'm going to use the paste line to same place. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to select one of these. I don't really know which one. It doesn't really matter. They're both the same. And I'm going to edit type. And I'm going to call this my, again, duplicate. Call this the design, I don't know, nosing. I don't know. Try that. And I'm going to take out all of this. I don't want any stringer because the other one's supporting this. This is basically, I'm going to create, the idea here is I'm going to create just a single tread here. No riser, no railing, no stringer, and it's going to float. So let's edit again that. We're going to edit this one too, and I'm going to actually, I got to duplicate this. This will be now the nosing tread, I guess. And I am going to go with, let's say, a 1 inch thick rise, and I'm going to have no riser. I mean, a 1 inch thick for tread. Alright, let's see. Oh, and the nosing length will be 1 inch, I think. Alright, so it's starting to show up, but I'm going to need to rise it just an inch above, I think. Oh, maybe not. Let's undo that. Okay, now I'm going to go back into plan. I'm going to grab that and change its width to, say, 9 feet. So now it's inboard of everything else. So okay. Let's take a look. Let's go to that 3D view I created for the stair. That's pretty close to the idea. It's not quite in the right place. I'm going to go back to this 3D view. Alright, it looks like I'm floating above things a bit. So let's... Width should be exactly the same. Alright, there we go. Now we're in business. We'll move this up, say 1 inch. Alright, now we still have some railings to get rid of. Let's take a look. It's pretty close. I think what I'm going to want to do is just edit its position. 1 inch in front of the other. And see what that does. Alright, so there we have a lot more architectural stair. The next video I'll get into railings.